Frank, what is the smartest thing we did when we moved abroad?
Well, I would say it's a number of things, but the first thing that we did before we even landed abroad was we made a decision. You know, there's a certain rhythm that goes along with our interactions and relationships, and as I go throughout my day and do these things that have become pretty much second nature after having been here over 8 years. And then I see new bloggers that come in, you know, they just blow into town and our first impression of Ecuador, yeah, okay. And just saying that I was watching another video and the guy is walking around and he's really happy, and you know, and he's handing out $10 bills to street vendors and stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh. And of course, after a week later, he's gone. You know, he's left the country. He's gone. You know, when we spend time viewing some of this information out there that isn't really real. It isn't real to what it takes to really live in a place like this as a permanent fixture, as a permanent resident, as somebody that's there, living there year-round, as opposed to somebody that just blows in for a week or two, hands out $10 to everybody. You know, it's like when I look back at how long it takes to establish that relationship, like for me today, I went and it's just no effort at all. She just gives me all these for the dollar, and you know, I get all those bananas, you know, just a huge bag of limes, you know, and stuff. Just to be able to show up and you're treated with the respect and understanding that you're a local here. You know, you're not the guy that's just flowing through, and you can, you know, you're going to pay the, you know, the big huge prices on everything. You know, I think about these things because it's like, it takes, like on average, it takes like 6 months to establish such a relationship. Because when you first show up, you know, and you're fighting all of these other people that are blowing through here and throwing money around and stuff, you know, you're fighting that stigma, and it's awful. I hate it. In a way, I like it and I hate it, because I know that it's a blessing to give. It is more blessed to give than to receive. But yet, we don't want to do it in such a way that it comes back to bite us, you know, when we're trying to live in a place on a regular basis. And this is not just about price, it's about everything. It's like, you see these people, like we just made a video about the crime that happened. People risk safety to themselves. You know, they risk safety by not adhering to certain standards and norms. You know, because, like, you know, just as an example, the vlogger I was talking about earlier, just walking around and handing out $10 bills, that right there will make you a target. That right there, just that action right there it can make you a target. And you know, you've got people that think that, oh, I'm going to go over here because there's more African Americans and everything's going to be all right. You know, and it's funny because I had some African American friends that left. But it was funny because she said to me, "I'm a minority," and I looked at her and I said, "Yeah, so am I." We're both minorities. Welcome to the club. So yeah, I think I know a little something about being a minority. And it's all about respect, just respecting one another, respecting people, and understanding the culture. And this goes well anywhere you are, even in America, North America. But it's a kind of a satisfaction that you achieve after you've been to a place, you've been in a place, and you finally achieve that level. Because it does take time and effort to achieve it, because it's not automatic. Like when you first get here, there's that constant, they're back and forth where you got to show them, no, I'm not going to be engaging in that kind of behavior. And it's a simple matter of respectfully saying, no, I'm not buying at that price. No, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that. No. And have a nice day. And then showing them that one of the impressions is that the foreigner has no options because they don't know. And so you're fighting that impression that says, well, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know. And when you walk by and you don't buy and you don't shop, they don't see you for weeks and they see you again, it's like, it kind of sinks in a little bit. It kind of actually takes that back and forth, that period of time, that introductory period of time to establish that respect. And I have a relationship now. I can send my son down and I can tell her, well, I'll send my son, and she'll just give him a big bag of onions and this kind of thing. So and again, and this is not just about price, it's about all of our interactions, which price is at the center of. Price is a focal point of our interaction, because especially if somebody like me that actually enjoys the interaction, the one-on-one interaction with the locals, as opposed to the maybe the impersonal interaction that you get at the main grocery stores.
Frank, what is the smartest thing we did when we moved abroad?
Well, I would say it's a number of things, but the first thing that we did before we even landed abroad was we made a decision I was going to learn Spanish. And so I set it in my mind that no matter how difficult it is, I will persevere and try to learn the language. So that, I think that gave us a good firm foothold. For example, when you watch other bloggers that are in these areas that you don't really realize they're really shills for the Rams, you realize that they're doing things like hiring locals to go shopping for them at the mercados. They're not really doing the shopping, but they don't tell you that in their videos. And that's fine, if you want to go abroad and hire people to do everything for you, you can always do that. But that isn't why we went abroad. We didn't go abroad to hire people to do things for us. We wanted the experience. We wanted it to be an authentic experience. We've talked about that in other videos. To me, it's not an authentic experience if I have to hire somebody to do everything for me. It's no different than the multimillionaire that has so much money that they can't be bothered to shop around, and they waste money, $30, $40 on a taxi ride left and right several times a day, and it's not fulfilling. Those two things right there are, I think, very foundational to the experience that we had and the memories that we created. But I think that because we already set it in our minds that we were going to do those two things, have a local level authentic experience and learn the language, that right there set the stage for putting us apart and being able to overcome, more importantly, the issues related to living in a RAM bubble, which we didn't see the RAM bubble coming at first. We didn't know. We were just like everybody else. We were oblivious to it. Nowadays, you guys have bloggers like us that talk about these kinds of things, and maybe a few others. But again, most of them don't do that. Most of them give you all the postcard and the rosy picture. Because of those two things, we were able to set ourselves aside, and therefore, that is the whole reason why we were able to weather the storm of the RAM bubble. When we first went to Cuenca, Ecuador, that's the two foundational things that language and the local authentic living experience did to us is it put us in a place where we didn't have to be right smack dab in the middle of the location-wise what was considered to be the Gringo Alley at the time.
So that's the smartest thing we did when we moved abroad.
What we ever did was set out in advance of going abroad that we were going to stay outside.
Stay outside of the Gringo bubble.
The Gringo bubble, but not because we had any reference point of what that Gringo bubble was actually going to look like, because we hadn't been through it before. But just because we happened to desire a more authentic local experience and want to learn the language in order for us to do so. And it has led to eventually us realizing that the further we are from a RAM bubble, the better, really, as far as long-term abroad living. Because for anyone that just wants to go for a visit, you want to go somewhere for 6 months or a year, you know, you're going to pack and leave. Who cares? Right?